Hello there. In this video, I'll show you how to replace rear light bulbs in a Vauxhall Corsa D. We'll do the brake lights, indicators, tail light, reversing light and the fog light using this 3-door hatchback as the example, and then we'll summarise the slight differences to bear in mind if you have a 5-door hatchback instead. Now that is an awful lot of bulbs, so let's get started. Welcome to CarSpyTV. Right then, we'll concentrate first on the 3-door hatchback body style, specifically the bulbs in the offside rear lamp here. And to change those, we need to remove the lamp completely from the car. But don't worry, that's nowhere near as daunting as it sounds. The first step is to look inside the boot here for this large plastic panel. We need to get that out the way. And to do so, simply pop your finger into that hole there, like so, and then pull forwards. There we are, and that reveals various tools. We have the jack and the towing eye and so on. Now all these tools need to be removed because they're in the way, and as we do so, it's not a bad idea just to make a note of where each one goes and which way round, because that will make it a lot easier to put them back later on. There we go. There are the tools, and that leaves us with this rather a large piece of black polystyrene that also needs to be removed. Now there's no way to sugarcoat this. Removing that piece of polystyrene can be a monumental pain in the neck because it's in there pretty tight, but nonetheless, if we wiggle it around and persist and avoid the temptation to force it, eventually it will pop out, he says with tremendous optimism. Come on now. Aha, we're getting somewhere. Nearly. Come on. You're going to have to come out in the end. Nearly. There we go. Now the polystyrene's been removed, we can see into this area here, and we need to look that way. Specifically, we're looking for this black electrical connector just there. That too needs to be removed. Now this electrical connector is held together by that plastic clip at the top where I've put the red arrow. Can you see that? And to release that clip, simply hold the connector like so and push it slightly at the base there towards the back of the car, and then just gently wiggle it back and it should come off, which it has. Easy, eh? Now either side of this electrical connector we can see a white nut. There's one just down there at the end of my finger, and the other one is just there. Both these nuts need to be completely removed. Now these nuts are typically finger tight, as we can see, so you probably won't need a tool to remove them, but if you do, you can pop a socket on the end there, or indeed a spanner. Don't drop it though, that's not a good idea. Well, I dropped the nuts, but now I can't see it. Where's it gone? Maybe I could feel it. Yes, okay, so if I can just get a grip on it. Got it. Right, second nut now, but this time no dropping it. Here it comes. Getting looser and looser. Oh, there we go. Didn't drop it that time. And there we go. 2 nuts. The only thing now holding the lamp to the car is a couple of pins that go into the bodywork. There's one about there and one about there. So to release those, we simply pull the lamp straight backwards, like so. Now, you shouldn't need to be too rough here. Just feed it out gently. And there we go. One lamp. Next, we need to remove this black plastic cover from the back of the light, and that's easy enough. It's held in place by 3 plastic clips. The first one is down here at the bottom of the light. There it is, at the end of my thumb. And to release that clip, you simply bend it out slightly like so. All right, now there's a second plastic clip towards the top of the light. There it is. And the third plastic clip is over here on the side of the light, just down there at the end of my finger. So we're now bending those plastic clips out of the way, gently, because it wouldn't take much to snap them. And then the black plastic cover on the back of the light just lifts off. Just like that. Let's now look inside the light and figure out which bulb does what, but bear in mind this is a 3-door car and things are different in the 5-door hatchback, and also bear in mind that this is from the off side of the car and things are slightly different on the near side. Don't worry though, we'll get to those differences later. Okay, this is the bottom of the light, and right down there at the base we see the fog light bulb, and if you fancy a new one of those, it's a P21W. Okay, now moving up we have 2 tail light bulbs, and they are P21/5Ws. Even higher we have the indicator, and that is a PY21W. Make sure, of course, that it's orange. And up here, right at the very top, that is a tail light and brake light bulb, and that once again is a P21W. So there's an overview for you, and it may well be that your Vauxhall Corsa takes exactly the same types of bulbs as this one, but I wouldn't make that assumption. It's always worth checking the particular model number of the particular bulb in your particular car that you want to replace, just to be absolutely sure you get the right type. And by the way, the model number of the bulb is written on its side. Now, to remove a bulb, simply push it down slightly, then twist a little bit anti-clockwise, and then pull it out, just like so. And of course, to insert the new bulb, it's the opposite maneuver, so pop it in like so, and twist it clockwise. Simple. Now, of course, we need to reinsert the bulbs into the rest of the light, but first, and this is rather important, make sure this rubber seal that goes all the way around the black bulb holder is properly positioned, because if it isn't, water is going to get in, and that could cause all kinds of trouble. That'll do. So we need to make sure that those 3 clips I showed you earlier connect properly. That one has, that one has, and that one has too. Now, to reinstall the light, it's just a case of reverse the process I've already shown you. Now it's just a case of check all the bulbs are working. These are, so we can slide back in that big piece of polystyrene into there, replace the tools, and finally pop the cover back on. Right then, if you want to change a bulb on the left side of this car, things are very slightly different. So here are the differences. When we remove the plastic trim, look, there are no tools. Instead, there is supposed to be a first aid kit there, but somebody has stolen that from this particular car. So if you've got yours, you may need to take that out the way. Also, if we have a look down here at the light itself, the lowest bulb, that is the reversing light, whereas over there on the offside it is the fog light. And if you want to replace that bulb, once again it's a P21W. Now, if you have a 5-door hatchback rather than the 3-door shown here, the rear lights are slightly different, so there are a couple of things to bear in mind. So, if we look in the owner's manual, we can see that the light on the 5-door hatchback, once it's been removed from the car, comes apart in a slightly different way, and there's a picture that explains that, which you can study if you feel so inclined. Also, just for luck, the bulbs are in different places, and again, there is a diagram that explains what you need to know. All right, so I'll just pan the camera around a little bit so you can see all the relevant information. There you go. In other news, it's rather cold today. This drink came out the fridge hours ago and it's still perfectly chilled. Anyway, that's how to change rear light bulbs on a Vauxhall Corsa D, and you are, of course, welcome to subscribe to CarSpyTV if you'd like to see more of this little green super mini. Oh, and while you're doing that, can you please do me a favour and click like on this video? Thank you. Right, that's all for now. I'm going indoors to sit on a radiator.